News that Saturday's homicide victim was a child hits hard for many Rockfordians. Some recall past cases involving children being abducted and killed in broad daylight.
23 News reporter Jim Haggerty shares more about these cases and their lasting imprints on the community.
Mike, Zoe, Rockford's history includes child abduction cases that shook the city from its foundation. And no matter how hard residents try, they can't forget their gruesome details.
And it leaves an empty spot.
A little more than 2 decades ago, Teresa O'Connor's 16-year-old niece, Heather Dawnbaugh, was abducted and killed in Rockford. Teresa says the teen will always be on her mind, and she says she will never shake the horror.
I just wonder what she would have looked like, how big a family she might have had, what kind of job, where she would be at this present time.
O'Connor says the murder of any child reminds us that predators lurk everywhere.
Sometimes your community is not always safe.
Lynn Rode of Rockford specifically remembers the 1975 kidnapping and murder of local paperboy Joey Didier. He was strangled to death and left in a cabin. Lynn says the community doesn't forget when a child's life is tragically taken away.
It's the innocence, and it's a child's life. Joey was only 15, if I'm remembering correctly, and his whole life was taken away from him and his parents.
Rode says these cases prompt parents to realize that no child can be insulated from evil.
My dad asked me never to let my kids be paper boys.
But local leaders say the impact of child abduction cases spreads beyond just the families. It leaves investigators with more questions than answers.
You know, what's happening and how do we stop this from happening? How do we keep our kids safe?
Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara was unavailable for comment, but said in an email to 23 News Monday that, quote, some crimes, especially those involving children, affect the entire community and make us question everything that we think we know to be true.
Another crime Rockford residents say they will never forget is the case of 11-year-old Susan Brady, who was abducted in Rockford back in 1965.
Her charred remains were later found in an incinerator.